Hola, everyone on video. Okay, guys. Hola. ¿Cómo estás, Ben?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien, bien. Anoche, or esta noche, voy en Tijuana.
Ajá.
Voy a la cena, or una cena, con 6 platos. ¿Entiendes?
Sí.
Sí. 6 platos con cena para en un restaurante.
6 porciones.
Sí, platos.
Sí.
Platos es más común.
Platos pequeños.
No sé.
Oh.
Sí, no sé. Sí, con vino.
Vas a comer mucho.
Sí, vas a comer mucho, sí. Sí, y entonces, I don't know, ¿qué más for you? I thought this whole show would be a good all episodio total de comida.
Bueno, me gusta comida.
See?
Claro.
Okay, so you'll love the show.
Yeah.
So I'm going down to Tijuana tonight for a 6-course dinner that my good friend invited me to. And I was joking because I said, oh, I have my Century Pass. So she said she was going to drive. And she goes, I know, that's why I invited you.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to go down
That's a
across
thing.
the border without putting someone in their car without having the Fast Pass.
Because everybody has to have it. And the car has to be certified.
Car has to be certified. You have to have it. Everyone in your car has to have it. So,
Which they said that you only have to register it online for the car. But as we found out, basically that just means your first trip through, they're going to stop you and inspect.
right, exactly. So, yeah, that should be really fun tonight. And
Tengo celoso.
no sé celoso.
Jealous.
Oh, sí. Yeah, you can have Uber Eats and have
I'll have
dinner
some
with
barbecue.
Jack. And then, so we talked a little bit about Chile last week.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I raved about it. I had so much fun when I was there. But a big part of being there was the food. And also, do you remember when I said that was one of the hardest things to understand? Because there's something about food written out on a menu, especially at like a nice restaurant or something. It's really hard to break that down into just like words you already know and understand.
Food is such a descriptive thing, right? That's what I was trying to say before. Like they want to use words that are so really enticing, right? And they make you want to eat it.
Yeah.
So those aren't words that you typically come across.
Learn in class or use them every day. So yeah, there was definitely times where I would be wanting to choose something, and I think I said like the waitress or the English menu would break it down and I'd go, oh, that's all it was?
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks so different to me for some reason. But yeah, we had this opportunity from Rachel had recommended a cooking class. Rachel was a guest on our show a few weeks back, and she had been down in Chile and she'd gone to this cooking class through Uncorked. And this guy Felipe was the chef for us. And so we met at a market. It was one of the first things we did while we got there. So we got there on a Sunday and we ran to the market the next day. And we were so did I tell you this? Steffi doesn't like to cook.
Oh, really?
No. So I signed
4 kids.
Right.
Doesn't like to cook.
No, Jason does all the cooking.
Is that why she doesn't like to cook? Because it's like you have to when you have so many kids?
That's not her thing. Like she doesn't like to cook.
Huh.
So I had asked her a while back, like if she wanted to do this cooking class, like we had some things we were lined up for the trip. And she's like, totally. This is how easygoing she is and why she was a great travel buddy. And she's like, yeah, I'm totally down. So we go and we get there. She's like, oh, I don't really like to cook. I don't want to like do anything. I'll just eat. And I looked at her and I was like, it's a cooking class. Like you're prepping and chopping and cooking. So it was so funny. But
how were her knife handling skills?
Well, when someone knows that someone doesn't want to cook, they like grab them first. They're like, we're going to put you on this project. So Felipe, the chef, grabbed her like first thing and was like, I'm going to have you chop onions.
Oh, man.
But so we met at the market. We went to Mercado Vega Chica. And it was this gran mercado, and it was indoors, but indoor-outdoor, kind of that usual kind of Latin American market. And it had everything from meat, cheese, chilies, vegetables, pre-made salsas that were already made. And we had said there's a lot of Chilean dogs everywhere running around town in Santiago. And we had said, like, where are all the cats? All the cats are in the market. I don't know why. I don't know why. They're just sitting on top of things. They're running around. There was some fish guys there, so maybe they get scraps. I'm not sure, but they were friendly, clean, just sitting around. So we were kind of laughing about that. But yeah, we met at the market and we bought a few things there. I should have paid attention to the meat he bought, and it would have been a precursor to what was to come. But we got to this really cool little kitchen. It looked like they had just remodeled it. It was so cute and modern. And we had a really small class. There was only 4 of us, and we had little aprons in our menu. And I just kind of glanced at the menu. I didn't even look at it. And we started cooking. And we did a few things with the salsa first, but then he started to make something. He pulled the ground beef out of the fridge. And he's holding the ground beef, and he throws it in a bowl, and he takes a piece of the ground beef and just pops it in his mouth, raw ground beef. And Stephanie goes, "Oh my God, you just put raw ground beef in your mouth." and he's like, "Yeah." She goes, "That's so gross. Why did you do that?" And he's like, "That's what we're eating today."
Oh, right.
So-
This was the photo you sent me.
Yeah, so we ate crudo de res, which crudo de res is raw beef.
Raw beef.
And it was mixed with this salsa. So it's much like ceviche, if you're familiar with ceviche, or if you're familiar with anything where the lemon juice cooks the food.
Here we would serve it as steak tartare, is how you get raw beef in the United States.
Totally agree, except steak tartare is slices of beef, isn't it?
No, it's ground beef.
Oh, it is. Okay. So I was
Served on, it's like tuna tartare. It's like served on a little cracker.
Oh, okay. I was totally misinformed because when I got it must be something that I never order because I was like, we do not eat raw beef in America.
It's
like,
uncommon.
It's very
It's
uncommon.
kind of like a fancy foodie
it's a bougie foodie thing
Yeah.
and a very acquired taste. And so it's so funny because we were just like, oh, that's what we're eating today. Okay, awesome. Luckily, we bought this big piece of hake. It was Spanish hake, so it was like a big fish.
Oh.
And that we cooked. That was really good. But he had a good point. He said to us, he's like, well, do you eat raw fish? And we're like, yeah, we eat sushi all the time. He's like, that has more parasites and stuff in
Yeah,
it than beef.
that is true, and it's something that we don't think about here.
I don't know.
Because maybe just the Japanese culture of sushi, became popular. And
Would you eat the ground beef that comes out of America?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
No,
I have.
I would maybe eat it from like the markets that we get where where the cow lived and that it was only ground together. But like, there's been there's way too many documentaries out there.
Well,
about,
there's definitely different qualities of meat here.
Yeah. So that's what he said. He said, I would only buy it from good quality meat. And me and my friend Steph were like looking at each other like, we just saw the market it came from. So, but I think what he meant is it was like fresh. It wasn't sitting at a supermarket and like a Costco.
It wasn't a factory farming.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But their salsa they make is pebre. Pebre? Yeah, pebre. It's a Chilean salsa. And I thought it was much like a Mexican salsa, but it had vinegar in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll throw these recipes up because I brought them home, and but he called the green chili puta madre, which he was calling it the holy shit chili, but
we won't have that translation.
We call it something a little different. So, but tomate, chile, sal, vinegar. No, say vinegar. Do you know how to say vinegar in
Vinagre.
vinagre?
Mm-hmm.
Y ajo, pimiento, cumin.
Ajo is garlic.
Yeah, ajo is garlic. And merken. Merken is this Chilean spice that's kind of a mix of cumin, oregano, things like that. It's good. I brought some home. I don't think I made it for you yet.
No, I saw that.
And then you can use white or red onion. But it was really, really good. It was a really flavorful salsa that you could make spicy or not spicy. And then that is what they mixed with the ground beef to make crudo de res. And
So it had some flavor. It wasn't just raw
it tasted
beef.
fine. Yeah, like I tasted it. I probably he put it in this little cup and like bopped it over on a plate. And it was maybe like a cup full of it. And I ate half of it before I saw a little bit too much blood and redness to the meat. And I was just over it. But it tasted just like the salsa.
Yeah.
And then we made these little churrascas. Of course, I can't roll my R's on command anymore, but
Churrascas.
Yeah, and they're like these little. In Chile, they don't really eat
bread.
with chips like the salsas and the.
It's not Mexican, right?
No. So they do more bread. So everything came with bread, and these were these really yummy little breads that we made, and we ate that with the salsa. So it was really, really good. But yeah, cooking class was such a fun experience. I highly recommend it. I mean, we've tried doing those almost everywhere we go, and this was just happened to be a really cool
Yeah,
one.
we need to do that in Oaxaca again.
Oh my
'cause I heard
God.
that was awesome.
We'd be cooking with pechitos y hormigas.
Chapulines.
Oh, and of course we made a pisco sour, which if you followed any of my Insta stories, like we
I'm
had.
not a fan. I can't do
Oh.
pisco.
You're kidding.
It's just sweet and kind of odd to me. It's not
So,
like I
well-
love mezcal and tequila, but I just
Well, I was
It's a little
lucky
off.
because I'd had so many pisco sours before even going down to Chile because Ben makes amazing cocktails and you had made me a couple.
Yeah, we have a bottle. Well, now we have 2 bottles of Pisco, but
Well, I had a bottle of pisco, but when I went down there, the pisco looked completely different. And I was asking him about it, and they have like almost like an aged pisco. It
it's
was,
aged longer
yeah,
probably.
it was a dark goldeny color. It was really good. So the pisco sour is, and if you heard our last episode with the lemon lime debate, it's with lemon. So it's a pisco sour is.
Limon amarillo.
Mm-hmm. So we made a mango pisco sour. It was so good.
So what do you do? Muddle mango and then just do normal Pisco sour?
Yeah, we had this like really
Oh, it had mango juice.
no.
Oh,
It was
okay.
pureed mango.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it says mango juice, but it wasn't. So yeah, it's pisco. Then we did some mango puree, lemon juice,
Mm-hmm.
and simple syrup, and then you just take like 2 tablespoons per person of egg white,
Yeah.
and that's what gives it that like frothiness. And we shook it first.
Yep.
And then, well, you already know this because you're a cocktail aficionado, but then we put the ice in afterwards. And
It's
then
called a dry shake.
yeah, and then we just did a splash of bitters, and I had so many pisco sours while we were there. They were so good. Almost everywhere made a pretty decent one too. Like, you know,
It's like their thing, right?
I know, but you go places where, like, I mean, I'm trying to think of something like, well, sangria is not really. I think once I got to Spain, I realized sangria wasn't
And
really
sangria
a Spanish thing.
is Spanish, right?
I
Isn't
don't
that a
know.
Spanish
I
thing?
think it's an American thing because our sangria was.
We just make it different.
Yeah, I think we've just kind of maybe adapted it.
One of them was
They
good,
all
but it was like
offered-
with champagne though. It wasn't really.
Oh, I loved that one.
Yeah.
They offered all Tinto Verano, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
But
red.
yeah, the food was increíble. It was really good.
So you'd recommend going to the cooking class.
Cooking class was really
Make
cool.
sure you're okay with eating crudo de res.
Exactly. And even Felipe was like, why didn't you just tell me your food preferences? And they did. They totally asked food preferences before
And you're like,
we
I'm
went.
fine, I'm fine. Oh, I'm not fine. All of a sudden, I'm no longer fine.
I thought about all these food preferences before I left. I'm like, is there anything I wouldn't eat? And I like thought about it, and I was like,
You wouldn't
no,
even-
because I'd be open to everything. And then once we got there, I went, okay, so
Let's not go to Asia and have that same attitude
no,
though.
So I'm like, I like my ground beef cooked. Like I've kind of learned a couple things now about like how like how some food I would like prepared, but lots of ceviche down there. And you know, I'm a huge fan of ceviche here.
Mhm.
But I'm kind of only like when Patty makes it because
Mhm.
it's super fresh. So what I've learned is the longer ceviche has been sitting, I'm not a big fan of it. It's still good quality. Like it just gets a little bit softer and I don't really love the flavors. So the ceviche down there had pulpo in it, which is octopus.
My
And-
favorite. You know, I never really tried it or even thought I would like it until we went to Spain and we had it for tapas.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm obsessed with pulpo now.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's an interesting texture, but
Like when it's grilled just slightly. Oh, it's perfect.
yeah, one of
Tacos.
our favorite things was honestly just like salads everywhere was so good. And it's because they are huge growers of avocados. Aguacates,
Really?
huge growers of, they think they have the best avocados in the world.
Oh, well.
Which
Good on
I'm
them.
like, you're talking to someone who lives in California where we grow amazing,
So,
huge,
Yeah.
but they don't grow the Hass avocados. They have these smaller ones, which
Mm.
the smaller ones here we don't like. They taste, I think if you let those small ones go too long, they taste like bacon.
Maybe that's like the lemon or
Yeah,
lime debate.
exactly.
You know? Same idea.
Yeah, so all their lemons were all their avocados were super buttery and yummy, but ours are too, the big ones.
Yeah.
So their
the
little
Hass.
ones tasted like our Hass avocados. In
Gotcha.
California, everyone pays the money for
It's-
the money for Hass avocados. And so every salad had a whole avocado sliced out on top of it. Hearts of palm they used a ton of. And then they would give you lemon wedges and just like olive oil and vinegar as your dressing. And then, of course, tomatoes and carrots and little, did I ever say tomates on there?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good. And the girls, or there was 2 other people in our cooking class, a guy and a girl, and they were from Australia, and they could not believe how much we paid for avocados. We pay less,
Oh, yeah.
which we think we pay a lot.
No.
We pay like $2-3 sometimes for an avocado.
Well,
They pay like $4 or $5.
yeah, because they
Per
they
avocado.
probably don't grow them at all.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So Chile was super big fans of their avocados, and down there they say palta, Palta, and I think I said that on a couple of their episodes. But palta was how they said avocado, which is super easy to get it. The minute someone says it, you're like, oh, okay. And they knew aguacate, which I thought was really funny. But that's
Well,
because
that's like
I think
the real word for it, probably.
yeah,
right?
in Peru and Chile are like the only two countries I think that say palta. From my understanding, I might have that wrong, but that's what I heard.
And what about the street food? You know, my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. So street food, maybe because I don't love fried food. That's why I didn't love the street food. But of course, empanadas. I can't even believe I've been talking about Chilean food this whole time without mentioning empanadas because
That's our thing, right?
they're big. Well, Argentina and Chile.
Oh, okay.
But
South American.
empanadas are huge. Now, my friend Steph, her daughter is half Chilean because of her dad. And so Stephanie had been in their family for a little while and had empanadas from them. And they come with usually ground beef in that American or that seasoning and a hard-boiled egg and a green olive and sometimes
inside of it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes a raisin. And they're not huge. Well, she said sometimes they'll make them big, but they're
I've only had
like
them
size of a palm.
I've only had them here from places, and
They're
I'm just
not good.
I'm just not.
Yeah, we don't have good empanadas here. Well, not that I've had. There's a couple really good empanada places that I just don't think the empanadas are that tasty.
It's like a Hot Pocket. Right?
It's just like a Hot Pocket.
I mean, I guess I'm just biased. Growing up eating tacos, I'm just like, it's just not a taco. It's
Well,
like it's not as good to me.
I feel like every country has their delivery system of the same kind of product.
Right.
You have a tortilla, you have some sort of dough, you have a sandwich. Like every country
We have
has
a hot
their
dog.
Yeah, exactly. We have a hot dog, and so it's like a delivery, and that's service for that thing.
Some countries have ass.
Some countries have us. Yeah. So the empanadas. It took probably 3 days before we found a traditional empanada that Stephanie was like, I can go home happy now. Like, I have found an empanada. So the first few we had were on the streets, and they were just like a fried ground beef or, whatever. And then we were at a really good restaurant. We were at, what was that restaurant called? Boca Nariz. And it was a wine tasting restaurant with really good food, and she had the best empanada there. And it had, sure enough, it had a little green olive and an egg, a hard-boiled egg. And the raisin freaks me out, but she says it's good, but they'll put raisins in it too. So, and they make like a good salsa with it. Like in Argentina, you'd have your, what's that favorite salsa I love in Argentina? It starts with the C.
In Argentina?
Yeah. The salsa. With the
chimichurri.
Chimichurri, yeah. So if
I was thinking like chips and salsa.
Oh no! So if you're in Argentina, you'd have chimichurri salsa with it, and in Chile, you'll have like a pebre, which is kind of that one with the vinegar in it, or like I had a chipotle kind of salsa from there. But yeah, the empanadas were good. Not my favorite, but that was kind of some street food. But the other street food we saw a lot were these like fried bread, and it would have like. We call it powdered sugar here, but I've learned now a lot of people call it icing sugar.
Oh, okay.
So it would just be dusted with powdered sugar. They had them in little, almost like sopapillas, or they had them.
Yeah. Is this like fry bread or?
No, it wasn't as good. It was smaller and harder, and I don't know. We didn't really like them, but it was just fried bread. But and then one of my favorite street foods, which I wouldn't really call it street food, was fresh squeezed pomegranate juice. I had like these pomegranates. He was just squeezing down in the downtown area by the.
It's probably good. Pomegranate juice is good.
It was really good, and it's not sweet, which is nice.
Yeah, isn't it kind of tart?
A little bit.
Yeah, not like cranberry where you're gonna like.
Yeah.
But it's. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then.
What about dessert? Do you get any good sweetness? I know I'm not a fan, but I know you love sweets.
Yeah, well, gelato and ice cream is a plenty, no matter where you go in the world. I feel like, which that's always easy for me.
Did they call it gelato?
Yeah, just gelato.
Really, not helado?
Helado was, I found that same helado place we went to in Oaxaca.
Oh yeah, Baidu or something, or
no, not the same company, but just the same style.
Okay,
it's like, what do they call it?
Rolled ice cream.
Rolled ice cream, or but they called it something else when we were there. Gourmet rolled ice cream, but it was the same thing. It was at one of the Bella Vista. Bella Vista? Yeah, Bella Vista. It was this little area, kind of like that market we went to in Spain, in Madrid. It was like all these restaurants and all these shopping and a little market, and they had a ice cream place in there. But they're little cookies. They're galletas. Mm-hmm. That's kind of something that's so S-y right now. After listening to our last things, I know the S's have to slow down, but
don't worry about it.
They have these galletas, and the dulce de leche is the little thing they'll put inside of it. But I believe I'm saying this right. It's alfajores, Alfajores, and they were so good. The first place I had them, they were just marginal, but we were in Valparaiso in the hills, and we had this tour guide, and he was like, "Hey, does anyone want a little treat?" And for 100 pesos, which is nothing, it's a little coin, we got these. I posted a picture of them. I'll post another one. But I kind of thought they were like a moon pie. They were almost
What's
like
a moon pie?
Like it was like chocolate cookie with like a marshmallow filling. I think that's the moon pie I'm thinking of. It was like a
Making me
Hostess.
hungry.
Yeah, it was really good. So the one that we had was little cookies, chocolate covered, and then in between it was sandwich was the dulce de leche. But they definitely made their own dulce de leche because it had a caramely, marshmallowy flavor to it, and it was so good. But everywhere else I went just had the 2 cookies with the dulce de leche, and it was much more like the ones you get in the little packages.
Yeah.
They didn't taste as good, but that place was so good. But yeah, that was kind of the little treats they had. And Valparaiso was amazing.
Valparaiso?
Valparaiso was
The food in Valparaiso?
No, just Valparaiso in general. I don't think I got to really go in depth.
Do you want to save that for next time?
Yeah, how long did we just chat it up? Yeah, let's make this a short episode. I'll talk about Valparaiso next time. I mean, not crazy
Let's do it, yeah.
ton to talk about, but
We said this is all about food, so
okay.
Let's stick to the food theme.
Yeah, the alfajores that I had were in the hills of Valparaiso.
So to recap, empanadas, get one.
Pisco, have one.
Pisco sours, be careful if what you wish for at a cooking class, if you have any restrictions whatsoever. And have alfajores.
Oh my gosh, those were so good. I want to try to make those.
Okay. Gracias.
Gracias por escuchar.
Y nos vemos al próximo episodio.
Ciao.